now presenting the top 10 most influential years in history.
The year is 1820. The Missouri Compromise was written by Henry Clay, was made to restore the balance of Congress, making Missouri a slave state and Maine a free state, which increased sectionalism. Also, Joseph Smith envisioned the Mormon Church, which led to 14 million U.S. citizens followed.
And now introducing Jillian Farmer.
As the 2008 presidential election votes come rolling in, I think this would be a good time to do a recap on our year. Earlier in the year, we suffered through the Great Recession, the longest period of economic downturn since the Great Depression in the 1930s. Hopefully, whoever wins this election will restore our economy to what it was earlier in the year. Thriving. All right, the votes are in. And Barack Obama will be the first African-American president of the United States. This will bring great achievements to people of color and in the LGBT community, as Obama works for the people with his "Change We Can Believe In" slogan.
And now to you, Fillion Jarmer.
As we near the end of 2001, the war on terror still continues, with our newly inaugurated president, George W. Bush, and his administration working hard to keep our country strong. As a result of the September 11th terror attacks on the World Trade Center, our troops have been sent off to Afghanistan. While they are fighting in the Middle East, a new domestic threat has arisen from the U.S. Postal Service through messages containing the anthrax virus. Our country has faced many threats this year, including the U.S.-China incident on the Hainan island of China. But despite all these situations, our national pride has increased. And as Americans, we believe it is our duty to protect our home from our world's competition.
Back to you, Layla's dog.
The year is 1972. Nixon has won the presidency race for the second time against McGovern. Nixon signed the SALT treaties with the USSR and visited China to restore our relationship as part of his détente policy. The Watergate scandal involving Nixon and his presidency has taken place and the Senate is not happy.
And now to you, Kate Fred.
Hello viewers, did you sleep through 1991? Then let me fill you in. First off, there was the Persian Gulf War, also known as Operation Desert Storm, which was 47 days of attacks in Kuwait led by President George H.W. Bush, where we were trying to protect the American oil supply, which was a big success because it was short, we lost 0 U.S. lives, which really boosted the morale in America. The success ain't over yet though, because the Soviet Union collapsed and so did the Berlin Wall, marking the end of the spread of communism and the 50-year Cold War. It can't all be success in 1991 though, because the Bank of Credit and Commerce International was exposed for the largest bank fraud in history. But that's okay because it all got fixed and now we have big franchises like Wells Fargo.
And now to the better Kate.
What?
The year is 1860 and Abraham Lincoln has just been elected president. Soon after, South Carolina has seceded from the Union. Harriet Tubman has returned from hiding in the Underground Railroad for 8 years to help free slaves. And later on, the Pony Express will take off by carrying mail in the West from horseback. In New England, there are shoemakers striking for higher wages, which they actually have succeeded in and are getting paid more with better working conditions. The political and social changes that have occurred are very significant in the year 1860. This has been ranked at number 5, being most impactful things have happened later on in the year.
And back to this mother.
Welcome to the year 1920. America is thriving and moving to cities. According to the population census, this is the first time in history more Americans have lived in urban areas than rural areas. Not only is city life booming, but the cotton market is booming. Prices are going up, profits for farmers are going up, but don't get too comfortable because that's all about to drop and cause the Great Depression. And even bigger news, the 19th Amendment was just passed and women have been given the right to vote, changing their role in society forever. Lastly, President Harding was just elected, but he's going to not do much and become one of the worst presidents in America through his misconduct.
Thank you. Here's the other Kate.
The year is 1955. The beginning of the civil rights movement has taken off with the arrest of Rosa Parks. The polio vaccine has also been implemented with the rise of
Disneyland
and McDonald's. Lots has been changing with taking stances onto what their beliefs are and changing popular culture into what it is today. This is one of the most influential years, being at number 3 because of how it has shaped America into what it is today and what popular culture is seen as.
Back to you, Layla's dog again.
The stock market has crashed and led the U.S. to major economic crisis. Herbert Hoover became the 31st president of the United States, and on October 29, 1929, also known as Black Tuesday, the stock market crashed, making the U.S. lose 10 to 15 billions of dollars. And people were scrambling. They have lost their trust with Wall Street.
And finally, the dumber Kate. Shut the up.
This just in. The Declaration of Independence has been signed. The year is 1776, and this one is one you won't want to miss. Individual states are gaining independence from Britain, such as New Hampshire, by signing and coming up with their own constitution, while Thomas Paine wrote Common Sense. And this is the first time the states have come together to really unify and be together as one. This year is one for the books because of the significance in the change and adaptation that has come out of this year. This year is one that you won't want to miss.
The end.